following our new Uruguayan Darwin Núñez signing, I delved into Wikipedia and I found myself falling down a black hole of footballing nonsense, and I came across this little game, a football game, not a game of any other sort. The 1950 World Cup, the final game. This World Cup was a little bit different to how we how we see it today. There were four groups, which is quite normal. But the winners of those groups went into another group. They loved it. They loved a round robin. There was no knockout, just all round robin.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So look, great fun. Just you only got knocked out if you lost the group. So away you went.
So I'm looking at it now, and so it came down to Uruguay, Brazil, Sweden, and Spain were the final four.
That's right. And so going into the last game, it wasn't a final as we know it today, but it was the final game, and it was between the only two teams who could win the World Cup. With Brazil having already gained 2 wins, and Uruguay only a win and a draw. Brazil only needed a draw to clinch the World Cup. Uruguay needing to win.
Mm-hmm.
And Brazil, heavy favourites. They'd played the Copa America the season before. These teams had met, and Brazil had won 5-1.
Wow.
The 2 group games, Brazil had scored 13 goals and conceded 2. Uruguay scored 5, conceded 4. The odds, if you're a betting man, your money's on Brazil.
For sure.
And to make matters stranger, I'm not even going to say worse, just strange. There was a victory song written prior to the final by Brazilian musicians for when Brazil won the World Cup.
Right. Yeah. So like they've ordered the cake and it says "Congratulations, Brazil," and it's just sitting on the sideline, like waiting for them to win
it. There's more. There's literally like half a dozen things like this. The medals, 22 medals for the squad, were already printed with the Brazilian players' names on them. Jules Rimet, as in the founder of FIFA, the man who the World Cup trophy was named after, had prepared a speech in Brazilian. Thank you, well done. In Portuguese, but not in Spanish. The mayor of Rio de Janeiro had, the week of the game, declared Brazil world champions. Like, literally said it. This time next week, we will be hailing our champions. Our national team. And the Uruguayans, you'd be surprised to know that they kind of took this to heart.
Yeah, as you would, yeah.
So the captain, Varela, I think that's how you pronounce it. He bought multiple copies of the local newspaper, which had such things printed on it as, tomorrow Brazil will be world champions, things like this. And he would place them on the floor of the Uruguay changing room and invite his teammates to stand on them and urinate on them, which is great stuff. God! Piss on this, would you?
Okay, I mean that's one way to psych yourself up,
So we have this build up for the game. All signs all signs point to a Brazilian victory. And obviously, the game was held in Brazil. The World Cup was held in Brazil, and the final was held in the famous Maracanã Stadium, which the official attendance 173,500.
Yep. Insane.
The unofficial attendance somewhere between 200 and 220,000.
Right. Okay. Yeah. People who snuck in and so on. Yeah.
Yeah. So 173,000 paying customers and some of their mates.
Yeah.
Right. That's like every third person getting an extra person in.
Yeah. Yeah. I see.
And let's make this clear. 99 point whatever percent of these people would be Brazilian.
Mhm.
Uruguay would not have had their allocation.
Yeah.
The away seats.
Well, and not many Uruguayans are going to fly to Brazil to have to sneak into the stadium.
To think about celebrating in the middle of all these Brazilians.
Yeah. Oh, something I didn't know either. Apparently, there was no subs back then.
No. I think that kind of got introduced maybe like in the 60s, but only for injuries.
Crazy.
So there's that. Yeah. So onto game day. In the Uruguayan dressing room, once they cleaned up the piss, the coach gives a. It's just a beautiful sight. The coach gives his team talk and says, lads, our best chance here is to play a defensive game. We need to nullify Brazil's attacking threat and defend. And then he leaves with his coaches, and the captain Varela again stands up and says, "Lads, I don't know how do you say lads in Spanish, muchachos. If we play on the back foot, we'll get hammered just like Spain and Sweden. We've got to go out and we've got to take it to them." So the game starts, and as you could probably guess, Brazil kind of take a front foot. They have most of the attacking play in the first half, but it goes into halftime 0-0. So they're done. Halfway through, we've done pretty well. Straight out from halftime, Brazil score 47th minute, a goal. And not only did they think they've won the World Cup, now it's official.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, the captain, this guy, he's an absolute leader of men. Grabs the ball from the goal, sticks it on the halfway line, and shouts out to his team, "Now it's time to win." I love it. In front of everyone. In front of everyone. Now it's time to win. Just 15 minutes later, Alcides Gija, I think you say that, took the ball down the right. And crossed it in and managed to create a goal for Chiafino. And the game's level again. It's difficult, but the game's level again. Brazil still having a huge, they've still got the advantage. It's 1-1. If the game stays this way, there's no penalties, there's no extra time. They just win.
Because it's round robin, yeah.
And again, Alcides Gija, the right winger, he takes the ball down the right wing and cuts in, and he believes in the near post. 70 years, over 70 years before believing in the near post was a thing. Smashed it near post, and he scored, and Uruguay took the lead, and that's how it stayed.
That was in the 79th minute from what I'm looking at.
79th minute. The Brazilian goalkeeper Barboza, who's from obviously I've never seen him play, but he's considered one of the best goalkeepers of that time. And again, I wasn't able to find footage of the goal, but he, it doesn't sound. Most people say, it's not his fault. There was defenders. Gija is, kid is lightning.
Mm.
The guy was absolutely lightning. And God, some of the shit you hear about him later on in his life, like he died a really unhappy man because obviously the lot of the loss was blamed on him, and he was doing a lot of superstitious things, like he burned the goal frame. He took the goal frame and burned it to try and like cleanse his spirit.
Wait, so I assume they were made of wood back then, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that's where the phrase like off the woodwork came from, because back in the day, the goal frame was wood.
Right. It was still round though, right? Yeah. Like the posts were still round, weren't they?
Nah, some of them would have been square.
Okay. Yeah.
Some of them might have been wood, but circle.
Round.
Sorry, but
I'm not sure. I'm looking at some photo, but I can't really tell. But anyway,
it is quite difficult to tell, isn't it?
Hmm. Well, I'm also looking at I've got an image of the sort of the formation and all the players on the screen at the moment, and it's interesting to see that they play a 2-3-5.
Oh, beautiful!
It's quite a common. Both teams are playing that formation.
Yeah. What's your problem?
But
these are aggressive teams.
Yeah, but if I'm reading this right, it's like they have. Well, it's just left back and right back are the two furthest back. So there's no centre backs. It's just
different game.
Yeah. Obviously they're not going to have the same roles and things. They don't run in the same areas of the pitch. But that's just what it's referred to in this. Is right back and left back, literally meaning left and right centre back.
I don't know what you want me to do. It's an absolute shambles, lads.
Yeah.
Two at the back.
Yeah.
Look, I'd love to see it on a preseason game. Jurgen, you're lining up with a 2-3-5 today. What's the deal? It's like, well, I'm a traditionalist. I'm a traditional kind of guy.
It says here too that after Uruguay scored the second goal, apparently the crowd was basically completely silent until the end of the match. I know, innit? Yeah.
And there's a great quote from the goal scorer, Gija. He said, only 3 people have managed to calm down, to silence the Maracanã with a single action. Frank Sinatra, Pope John Paul, and me.
That's good. That's a good quote.
A great quote.
It actually says here too that Gija was the last surviving player from the game, and he died on the 16th of July in 2015, which was exactly 65 years to the day after scoring that goal.
Spooky.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that talk about superstition, like that's something else. So yeah, so the game ends. The final whistle goes. Uruguay have won. They've won the World Cup. And you and I have played football together, and the ending to this competition, the World Cup, the greatest competition, the greatest sporting competition on the face of the planet, ends in the same way that would not be dissimilar to me and you kicking around at five-a-side. Jules Rimet himself running around the pitch in the stadium, a silent stadium of 200,000 Brazilians, holding the trophy named after him, shouting after the Uruguayans, trying to give them the trophy. And they're, celebrating with their mates and
So what? They're
what?
not even interested in the trophy. They're too busy.
Well, the trophy ceremony, the medals and everything had been all constructed around Brazil winning.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
then it didn't happen.
What?
Brazil on the back of this, they, at that time they were wearing a white kit with a blue trim,
Mm-hmm.
and on the back of this game they changed it. They never wore that kit again, and they changed to a kit mainly consisting of the colours of their flag, the yellow and blue and green, which we're all now used to.
Right. Yeah. So they kind of believed it was cursed, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
very very superstitious people. Very,
definitely.
Brazil. They like this event is like, um, BC and AD for them in terms of
Yeah.
Brazilian football. Like, yeah,
Yeah. Well, it actually says here that two Brazilian fans committed suicide. Oh, self-deleted. I don't think I can say that word on YouTube. Self-deleted themselves inside the stadium, and then many more self-deletions were reported across the country in the following days.
yeah.
So they took it pretty hard.
They scored human own goals.
Yeah. And it's saying that many newspapers and fans and famous radio journalist Ari Barroso, they wouldn't accept the fact that they'd been defeated. They were just denying it.
Good. It's like they want the entire second group stage brought back for offside.
Yeah. It's like they wanted like to VAR the whole competition.
Yeah. So they really took it quite personally. There's I think one of the facts is a great fact. It's something like there's 10 times as many books written about this final, about this game, than the 1970 World Cup when they won it. Like they won. Like you'd think that would be, that's their third World Cup. They got to keep the trophy that was being paraded in front of them to their opponents, and that, the humiliation, the defeat is the huge talking point. There's also reports you can buy on the black market, like a DVD or a video where you can, like, where Brazil win.
What? That's crazy.
It's utterly pointless.
That's so crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, it says too that the captain Augusto for Brazil never played again, and along with several other players, all the medals that they printed were discarded, and they'd never been seen again. No one knows what happened to them. And
they melted down for gold.
Yeah, I'd say so. But that's wild. That's what. Crazy.
It's an absolute madness.
Is that true? I'm reading something here that says that that this event was the most highly attended football match ever played.
Yeah, certainly officially, yes.
Because I suppose, no stadium can fit more than 200,000, and there was more than that. So,
well, the Maracanã's official capacity, I'm trying to find it, is 78,000.
Oh my god. Yeah. So There's 200,000 at this stadium. That's pretty wild.
I, like, I don't know about you, but I can't help but imagine just like every seat filled, all the aisles filled, and then like the bit just in front of the pitch where there's like advertising and that, people there as well. So like the ball will go out for a throw in and it will just rebound off some Brazilian's head, just come back.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like I'm looking at a photo now, and it seems like there was like a large standing area. Area.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't
Which
speak.
is
And that would have been shoulder to shoulder, I imagine. I'll just
yeah, which is actually exactly why capacities can't be that large anymore, because now they need to be seated.
On that note, sorry, I was just going to bring up an image of. I have an image of it actually, of the stadium, and you can sort of see the standing area in this photo. So they're all kind of standing here, but there is no advertisement boards or anything from what I can see. Basically there's just a little gap, and then there's like a fence, like you'd have at like a rock concert or something. You have like the barrier, and then that little channel, and then it's just all people standing behind. So, yeah. Oh no, sorry. There is advertisements, but this makes total sense, because since the game probably wasn't televised mostly, the advertisements are pointing at the crowd, and not pointing in towards where the players are. They point outwards to the seat, to the crowd.
That's so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
You just don't think about that.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think about that at all. Right. Yeah. That's crazy. But what I was going to say on that note was, did you hear the latest news about England? They have actually just okayed standing areas for stadiums in the Premier League now.
Yeah, I know a bunch of teams were, effectively lobbying for this, and finally done it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. We'll just have to hope we don't have a. What was that big disaster that happened at Liverpool? That's we watched the
Hillsborough.
Yeah.
So the game was in Sheffield, between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, and it was Liverpool fans who died in the event.
Mm. Yeah, because they oversold tickets and stuff like that. Too many people were let in, and it just basically people got crushed just from.
Yeah. Well, the police were not. It seems that a bunch of things happened, including the police not correctly, allowing and stemming the flow of fans into that area of the stadium, which, like you say, created a crush.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, oh man, that was a pretty crazy story. Football was pretty wild back in the day, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's not like it's gotten any less wild, but that's definitely what it was.